I'd like to welcome everybody to the Westside Church of Religious Science. Please know that we are here for one reason and one reason only, and that is to support that to which you aspire. We know that each and every one of us came here with gifts and talents and treasures to share and make this world a better place. So we are here to promote that and to your expression of that into the world so the world becomes better by means of you. Welcome one and welcome all. Because the title of my talk is that good gets better. And I realize that to some extent, it's good right now. It really is. I mean, you're here, you're upright, you know, we're above ground. I mean, something's working for us, you know. So I can say that it's good now. And even in spite of everything in the external world that we wish might be improved. And I think for all of us that there's a lot of things that we would like to see be better. A lot of things that we would like to see be different. A lot of things that we would like to be healed and changed. But today, right now, today, this is the most conscious, the most awake, the most aware we have ever been. And so we say to ourselves, aware of what? Aware of God within us. I mean, that it's God within us that's living and loving and creating and expressing by means of us. Through means of each and every one of us. And so with all of this consciousness that we are right now, we have never lived this moment before. No? So right now, right here today, we are bringing the most consciousness that we've ever had to this moment, to living this day, to living life right here, right now, today. Now I believe for all of us, our past has helped us form our consciousness. So in a sense, we're all products of our past. Everything that we've been through, every opportunity, every challenge, every experience contributes to who we are. All the relationships that you've had, all of the good things, all of the not so good things, the friends, the families, the education, it all contributes to who you are today. And if your past was just fabulous and great, that's wonderful. I want to meet you. But for the rest of us, I think our past is somewhere between great and maybe not so, you know? But the thing is about our past, we can't live there. We can't say, oh, that's when it was good. It's all downhill right now. You can't live there in the past. There's no sense to that. So what we do is we keep the good, you know, and we keep the joy, and we keep the love in our heart from that past. And yet at the same time, we want to be willing for life right now to be really good. And yes, it's going to be different. It's going to be different from what we've known so far because life doesn't repeat itself. Yeah. It will be good, it will be different, but life is continually evolving, and so are we. So every new day then requires a new day's thinking. For today, I can't use yesterday's thinking. For today, I have to have an even greater awareness of how powerful and constructive and creative and affirmative my thinking needs to be. So every day requires new thinking, and every day requires a new consciousness. I can't live off of an old consciousness today. Now, I believe that if you are someone who resonates with the teachings of the science of mind, and you probably are because you're here. You wound up here. And if you're one of those people who resonates with some of the teachings of the science of mind, there's no way going back. There's not, you can't go back to another way of being. You can only go forward. And what do I mean by resonate with the science of mind teaching? It's that something within you realizes that you express God, or spirit, or divine mind, or creative intelligence, or universal intelligence. I do not care what you call it. You know, I really don't. But you realize that God or Spirit is the only power in your life. And it's everywhere. It's equally present. It's absolutely everywhere, and it indwells you. And it's also then in everyone else. And that your thinking is powerful. And the universe responds to you. And you get back out of life pretty much what you put out there. And you also get back pretty much what you expect. And that love is clearly a better way to be in the world. And the light in you, which you are, expresses according to your consciousness. So your awareness of who and what you are, what you really are, determines what's possible and available to you. So this is what our teaching is about. This is what the science of mind is about. And if something within you resonates with some of that, well, it's just going to be hard for you to go back to something else. So a new consciousness of who you are. If you're aware of who and what you are, if that determines what's possible and available to you, then a new consciousness of who you are causes things to unfold for you in a new way. It's like saying, when you believe you're more, more can unfold for you. When you believe that you're better than you have been, better things can unfold for you. We say in the science of mind that everything that comes to us comes through our consciousness. This is why we're always talking about and saying you have to treat your consciousness. We don't treat the effect. We don't treat the condition. Because a condition is the last thing, the last level of manifestation. It's old news. It's history. Treating for a condition is like trying to manipulate the effect, trying to manipulate the results. We say everything in our life is consciousness. So this is why we have to treat up and keep our consciousness up. It's not, when we get the idea, when we finally get it, that it's not an option on the menu, you know, that what's happening here is that there's a spiritual law in the universe that's in operation, then we start to understand that, oh, wow, it's within me that's got to change. It's something in me, you know, in my consciousness that has to be different. Now, tell a little secret. It's not much of a secret, I don't think. It's no secret that lately I have believed in a power called a cold. I have believed in it so well that it took up camp in my body. Now I know, because I have been very well trained in the science of mind teaching, that I do not treat my body to be well. I have to treat my consciousness. And that somewhere I have been sick in my mind. Why? Because my body can't be sick unless there's something in my mind to cause it to be that way. Any and every physical manifestation has something that corresponds with it in mind. Because we say that things don't just happen. Things happened just. So what's the just? Like, how did I participate in this? How did I become a welcome place for this experience? How did I allow this to happen? Well, there's a lot of conversation in the world. And I was apparently receptive to that, you know? Cold, 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 cold. There's a lot of commercials on TV that show these mucus monsters taking up residence in your body, you know? Talk about the flu shot, flu shot, flu shot, flu shot, you know? Gotta get a flu shot. Swine flu, it's gonna be bad, 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 bad. People are really getting sick. I listened to it, apparently took it in, and made it a welcome guest. And initially, you know, when I realized that, I did what many of us do. I started to treat the effect from just to please heal my body, please heal my body. And then I realized that I was banging my head against the wall because it wasn't getting any better. And I thought, well, it's because you're treating the effect. I needed to treat the cause. And the cause is something in my consciousness. So something in my consciousness, in my thinking, has got to change. So what does that sound like? Well, now the conversation, the ongoing treatment that's going on in my mind goes something like, God is my perfect health. I am the consciousness of perfect health. I am absolute perfect wholeness. I do not believe or accept anything less than perfect wholeness. I have come that you may have life and have it more abundantly. I am that abundant life right now. So something greater has to live in my consciousness before it can express. It has to live in our consciousness before it can express and demonstrate in the world. Because every experience is the manifestation of thought. So you have to be the one, I have to be the one in each of our lives to open the way out for something greater to express. See, it only makes sense that greater good demands greater consciousness for all of us. It's like when you were small. Your consciousness was maybe the frame of reference of your home. Home was good, home was safe, and that's where you belonged, you know? And that was pretty much it. And then you were a little bit bigger, and maybe your frame of reference for your consciousness would be your playground or your driveway or where you were allowed to ride your bike. It would be bigger and consciousness got bigger. And then you went to junior high school and you had a much bigger consciousness than you had before. And then you get to high school and you have an infinite consciousness, don't you? Because after all, in high school you are the center of the universe. Or so you believe. I'm dealing with a high school kid right now. But it just continues on and on and on. You know, the more we become aware, the more consciousness increases. So if we change our consciousness, the outer world then has to change to conform to the changed consciousness. If we change our consciousness, the outer world has to change to conform to it. This is what Ernest Holmes is teaching us when he says, change your thinking, change your life. It is not just, oh, think happy thoughts and you'll have a happy life. It is much deeper than that. When he's saying change your thinking, he's talking about that this is an invitation, this is a fabulous invitation for us to change our consciousness. Change how we think of ourselves and how we believe our connection is to God and how we see our place in the world and what we believe is possible and available to us. And that will have an enormous effect and change in our experience. So we have to recognize that cause and effect are always connected. And I know we don't always like to. And that we often look at the effects of our life, like I was looking at my cold, and not realizing, not paying attention to the truth that the cause was in my mind. And I had something to do with that. See, what I see is that often people want to change an external condition, and they think that that's going to make all the difference to them. I mean, don't we do that? Doesn't just everybody do that? I'm going to change this and then my life is going to be so much better. But here's the thing, without a change in consciousness, we're most often disappointed. We think, oh, if I make this move, this is all going to be different. Or if I get this new partner, that's going to be great. It's going to be fabulous. Or this new job and life is going to be so much better. But the thing is, whatever lives in me as a part of my consciousness will find expression in that new home, in that new job, in that new relationship. Why? Because I take me with me wherever I go, don't you? I know we tell ourselves that this time it's going to be different. No, I mean it. This time it's really going to be different. I'm going to move and my life is going to be fabulous and different. It's going to be so much better. Well, not without an internal change of consciousness. It won't. It just won't. Because we are the law unto ourselves. And let's please be clear about this. This is not about blaming anyone else, because no one's thought has any power in you or over you or your thought. Your thought is the law of the land in your life, period. So you could tell yourself that I always experience the perfect manifestation of everything I do. Or my life is good and getting better all the time. That's a good one. My life is good and getting better all the time. So what we're talking about here is that consciousness precedes newness. So I think it's a huge mistake when something happens in our life, an experience or a challenging thing that happens, to just focus on that experience. Take losing your job. If you're unemployed, we don't want to keep focusing on the fact that I'm unemployed, I have no income, I'm not working. Many people are unemployed, and some of them who have taken the time during that unemployment to prepare their consciousness, those people will go to work. They will create income. And others will be so entrenched in the consciousness of unemployed, job loss, no money, no work, that they will stay there much longer than necessary.
Yes.
So we want to be clear. There is always work for those who have the consciousness of work. Jody Carter is a fabulous example of that. If you're not using her as a practitioner, I really encourage you to do so. This is a woman who's in the industry, and I'm not going to divulge her age, but certainly in that industry of acting that she's in, there's no work. There's no work definitely after 30, and certainly not after 50. And Jody Carter is always working. She is always working. She's not a big name star or any of that, but this woman is always working in an industry that is known for no work for women over 30. So even if you're unemployed, it's the perfect time to be knowing that you are the consciousness of perfect work. So that when jobs are created, you will be the one that's called to go back to work. There's always work for those who have the consciousness of work. And you say, how can I say such a thing with the economy the way it is? I can say that, and I can say that with authority, because God knows nothing about the economy. The economy is a human invention. We created the whole idea of the economy. But God, to the infinite mind, there is no economy. God is the principle of abundance. God is abundance now and always. God is creativity now and always. And so a better question, let's be honest here, a better question is, how well do you know God? Are you in a serious relationship with God on a daily basis? Because that's what's going to make an enormous difference in your life. So if you're unemployed, if you're experiencing a health challenge or a relationship challenge, take part of that time to get into a serious relationship with God. Start to take time to get in a serious, ongoing relationship with the Spirit, with the God, with the divine intelligence within you. Because what's the spiritual principle, the spiritual truth here? There is no cause in your world but you. There is no cause in your world but you. And we say here all the time in this church that everybody gets to grow, everybody gets to be better, everybody gets to heal, everybody gets to be better than they've ever been before. So you get to be better. You get to have a life experience that's better than anything you've ever had before. So please do not say to yourself, oh, that's when life was really good. You know, the best years are behind me. Now it's just all downhill. It's just a matter of time before I crash and burn. Do not make me come and slap you in public. You know, just don't do it. Because really, how can that be? How can that be what you're saying to yourself? There is no God in what you're saying in that. If you know and understand that you are cause in your world, then you'll take the time and the effort to be in right relationship with the Spirit within you. So what do I mean by that? Well, it's very simple. You'll take time to pray and to treat and to meditate and to study, and not out of fear. It's not like, oh my God, if I don't do this, you know, I'm going to get punished by the universe. No, it's not like that. Absolutely not. You do it because it's your pipeline. You do it because it's your lifeline to all the good of the universe. The more you're connected to your source, the more your source can flow fully and freely in your life. So build your consciousness of who you are as part of the infinite, part of God. So since I brought up the economy, as metaphysical students, we have to know that there is nothing in me that can be adversely affected by the stock market or the world of bankers and finances. There's nothing that has been affected adversely by the stock market or the world of banking and finance. No, we have to know that I am the consciousness of abundant supply now and always. This is how we have to be talking to ourselves especially when we're getting those gloom and doom messages out there from TV land. God is my instant, constant, and abundant source of supply. God is my instant, abundant, constant source of supply. See, there's good in the world. There's great good in the world in a myriad of forms. All the time. All the time. There's great love in the world. There's great joy in the world. There's incredible beauty in the world. There's awesome abundance in the world. There's incredible friendship in the world. But great love and great joy and great beauty and tremendous friends and awesome abundance, they have to be in your consciousness or you'll never see them in the world. There are people in the world and they never see the world as a beautiful place or a friendly place. They don't see it as a loving place. They never see the world as anything but a lonely, scary place. So it must be that these qualities of the infinite that are actually present everywhere don't live in them. They don't have it in their consciousness. They don't allow it in. And if those qualities don't live in us, all we're going to see in the world is negativity. And I'm not denying that there is negative appearances in the world. Don't hear that. But as a student of the science of mind, I think that a way to be with them is to be aware of them, don't deny them, and to treat your consciousness. Because if I dwell on them, what I know is what I dwell on increases. What I focus on increases. And I'm not going to be in denial about them, but I'm going to treat my consciousness to know that God is the power, and that God is the present, and that God is the activity. And again, substitute divine mind, creative intelligence, universal intelligence, I don't care. But that is the power and the presence and the activity, and there's nothing harmful in the nature or in the mind of God, and none of it has any effect on me. And then if something continues, even after you treat, to pull at your heart, if it continues to grab at your attention, then it's probably an area of your life that you're supposed to do something. You're supposed to do something a little more than pray. So it might be that you have to volunteer, or you have to send a check somewhere, or you have to send an email, or you have to do something on the earth plane as well as in consciousness. You don't have to withdraw and be overwhelmed and say, oh, it's just so depressing, there's just so much to do, I don't know where to begin, so I'm not going to do anything. You don't want to go to that place, Ernest Holmes says in The Science of Mind, the nature of being is perfect God, perfect man, perfect being. That the infinite is perfect. And that, in its expression, there is in each of us, and there is that perfection within us. And so therefore, perfect being, our essence, is always, always perfect. So no matter what goes on in the world, or what personal drama we may be dealing with at any given time, if we know our connection to God, there's always that part within us that remains intact. That whole, perfect, and complete part. That part doesn't change. No matter what condition this body is in, even after this body passes away. So this is the principle then that we realize, and in realizing this, it allows it to become part of our consciousness. So I think the important thing then for us right now is that there is nothing within you, nothing in your belief, nothing in your consciousness that negates, doubts, or resists your greater good. Nothing that negates, doubts, or resists your greater good. And I realize that it takes work to keep your mind up, to keep on the sunny side of the street, if you would, to stay optimistic about things, to not be depressed and get pulled down into negative thinking and less than thinking. But here's the thing about that. If you get pulled down into that negative thinking, at some point you're not going to like it. At some point you're not going to like it, and it's going to be a lot of work to pull yourself up. Now, you're going to put energy into something, You may as well put energy into something that's going to make you feel good about yourself, put more love in the world, have you be more self-expressed. And the important thing to remember is that there is nothing in you, nothing in your belief, in your consciousness that negates or doubts or resists your greater good. And with that awareness, good gets better, and we start living the life we came here to live right now. And so it is.
And so it is.
Let's pray.
What do I want? What do I desire? What will bring me to my highest good? What do I want? What do I desire? What will bring me to my highest good? Prosperity, prosperity, I claim it, I claim it. Abundance, abundance is mine, is mine. Love, love flows through me, flows through me. I feel joy, I feel joy all the time, all the time. I can have it, I can have it. I deserve it, I deserve it. I claim it, I claim it. It is mine, it is mine. I can have it, I can have it. I deserve it, I deserve it. I am it, I am it. It is mine, it is mine. Peace, peace fills my heart, fills my heart. I surrender, I surrender everything, everything. Health, health is my birthright, is my birthright. Passion, passion, helps me sing. I can have it, I can have it. I deserve it, I deserve it. I claim it, I claim it. It is mine, it is mine. I can have it, I can have it. I deserve it, I deserve it. I am it, I am it. It's my time, it's my time now.
This is where we do the little dance, Here we go.
Anything I want, anything I desire, anything that brings me to my highest good. Anything I want, anything I desire, anything that brings me to my highest good. I release, and let go, and let go. I accept what is mine, what is mine. I can have what I want, and let spirit, let the flow, let the flow. Life is good, life is good, life is fun, life is fun, life is great, life is great. The song is done.
All right. All right.